morning, we're checking in with Jael Joseph, a media entrepreneur and film director born on the nature island of the Caribbean, Dominica. She joins us now via Zoom. Good morning, Jael. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having me. So good to be here, and thank you for allowing me on your show, Delia.
Love it. So when I say media entrepreneur, girl, what am I talking about?
Doing everything. There's probably absolutely nothing that I cannot do where media is concerned. So it starts off from radio. I've done TV. I've been a brand ambassador. I've been an influencer. I did media production, a master's in media production. I also studied journalism. So as in our native tongue, moi ça fait tout bite. I can do everything.
I love it. So listen, you're a little bit like me. I tell people I'm a career schizophrenic because I'm gonna do 20 million things. Of all the things,
well, I don't like to associate all that I do with anything that's negative. So I like to call myself a multi-hyphenate.
No man, schizophrenia can be a good thing. But what I want to know is, with all the things that you're doing, which one makes you most happy? Which of them resonates most with you? Or does it just depend on the project at the time?
Well, that's a good question. Essentially, I think I like everything. So there's nothing that is specific or gets any highlight based on what I absolutely love. I'm the type of person, whenever I'm working on a project, I cannot dwell on it for probably more than an hour. Mm-hmm. So I'll be on something and then I will leave it for a bit if I have not completed it, and I'll move on to another thing. Obviously, taking into consideration timelines and schedules and deadlines and all of those things. But I do love, one of the things that I promised myself after my parents passed away in 2011 is that I will only do what I love.
Love it. Love it. So one of the things you love is documentaries. Tell me about it, because I tell people documentary filmmaking is such an art. Not many people do it, and not many people do it well. What inspired or motivated you to venture into documentary filmmaking?
Well, I love telling stories, and even from my days in radio, I absolutely loved to feature people and hear their stories. And I guess as a journalist, it came naturally to me that I'm just naturally inquisitive and wanting to know more about people. Yeah. And when I decided to do my master's, I decided to go into media production. And one of the things that I ventured out into was actually making documentaries. Yeah. I made it's actually my second documentary, but my very first one that I went out and promoted and put out for the rest of the world to see.
Mm-hmm. And so, Territory, big film winner. What inspired Territory? And tell me, what is it about?
Well, Territory is based. It's a Dominican film, essentially. Uh-huh. So it's about the Kalinago people, who are the indigenous peoples of Dominica. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys know anything about the indigenous peoples of Dominica, but they're kind of endangered, and they used to be called the Caribs. In 2015 they regained their name Kalinago. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to focus on their struggles, their economic and their political struggles, because I had spent some time as a kid, going up to the Kalinago territory with my mom, mm-hmm. who did a lot of ministry there. She would bring, food and stuff. And then my great grandmother was Kalinago. So it just really resonated with me. And I felt that I could tell their stories. And after, interviewing quite a few people in the Kalinago territory, I came up with the main characters that would eventually become the film, mm-hmm. Territory. And I didn't expect it to get all of this attention because, to be quite honest, I was doing it for a grade. right? And once I got the grade, I was very satisfied. I was very satisfied. But I think in everything that I do, I practice excellence. And my supervisors, who were my professors at the time, they were like, "Hey, you need to go and you need to put this out there so the rest of the world could see, because it's a film that's important and focuses on themes that are very important from the Caribbean perspective, from an indigenous perspective as well."
It is a very important film. We grow up as children and we hear about the Caribs and the Arawaks, but there's very little that we hear about how they exist in the now. And so I'm very happy that you did Territory, because I think it's something that all Caribbean people should be able to see. Yeah, it is. It is. You left Dominica for Canada when you were younger. You straddled both countries. How has that informed the way you approach media and film?
Well, for one, I code switch a lot. So I go back and forth between a Dominican accent and a Canadian accent, and I love it. It's essentially what makes me who I am. So I will continue to do it. I have no shame about that, no shame in my game. But I feel like being part of my Caribbean culture, being part of my Dominican culture is essentially my foundation, right? So letting go of that was close to impossible. And the people in Dominica, they're so vibrant, and they love nature. We love to fete. We love, everything that is very Caribbean, and I could never let go of that. So I straddled between two countries. I still straddle between the two countries to this day, going back and forth between Dominica and Canada. And I've emceed for the World Creole Music Festival. I do quite a bit of things, but it really has not affected me in a negative way. It has brought a lot of positivity. I've practiced a lot of different things in Dominica. I've interviewed people. I have a show that I do regularly called Jael Joseph Live, which is available on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter, where I essentially, reach out to people in the Caribbean, not just Dominican people. And it just gives me a sense of connection to my foundation.
Excellent. You need to make Jamaica a third country, Jael, and come meet her.
I need to come to Jamaica. Jamaica is probably the only island I have not visited.
Jael, no.
No. I know, it's such a shocker. When I tell people that, they're like, "Really?"
Yes. You have to come, and you have to come hang out with our Maroons. January 6th is a big thing in our compound. We got to go together. Before we go, we're the 876. Tell me, what is 767 Girls Rock?
Ooh, thank you very much for asking about that. That's a really good question. So 767 Girls Rock was something that I started back in 2015, which is an initiative around celebrating women, especially young women who are on the rise. And it was my own little brainchild, and I brought on people with me, and we had actually 2 amazing shows, and we're relaunching in 2024. So March of 2024, we're coming back with a bang, and people have loved this show. The last one was back in 2017, but Dominica had Hurricane Maria in 2017, and then after we had COVID-19, so a lot of things kind of put off having the actual event, but we're hoping to come back in 2024 and feature Dominican women, not just Dominican women living in Dominica, but Dominican women who are exceptional across the globe, and we hope to make it a very exciting day of a very exciting event that will be held right around the time of Women International Day.
Well, we look forward to it. Alwyn Bully, who is from Dominica, has done so much for our art here in Jamaica,
yes.
and a man we absolutely loved. So it's so beautiful meeting you and talking to you.
Yes, he is. He's actually one of my inspirations. I actually worked alongside him when I did. I performed in a film, not a film, in a play. Years ago in Dominica. Yeah. So he was, and I'm still, I still stay connected to his wife, who's still around. So Anita Bully, and
yes.
That's an amazing family.
Yes. All right, girl. It was great meeting you. As I told you, angle it.
Well, I have to try.
Media entrepreneur and film director Jael Joseph. That's our Caribbean check-in. Coming up, Neville has a chat with the author of the Bang and Friends series. We'll soon come.